Will it be bail or jail for the founder of Tehelka, Tarun Tejpal, who today is in a Goa court right now, which is hearing his petition for anticipatory bail for alleged sexual harassment of a woman journalist. During the arguments on behalf of Tejpal, his lawyer offered to surrender his passport to avoid arrest. In fact, his lawyer, Tarun Tejpal, said that he offers his passport. Please don't arrest me. I won't go to Mumbai where the journalist lives. This is what he told the judge, Anuja Prabhudesai, who is hearing his plea for anticipatory bail. Mr. Tejpal is likely to be arrested if he doesn't get anticipatory bail today. In what could be denting the chances of a bail for Tejpal, the prosecution told the court that the woman journalist has been consistent with his version. It's only Tejpal who has been changing colors like a chameleon. In fact, referring to the fact that he attended an apology earlier, prosecution in fact has said that there should be a custodial interrogation of Tarun Tejpal. Well, my colleague Tanima Biswas now joining us for more on that. Tanima, in just a short while from now, we'll know whether Tarun Tejpal will be arrested or not. But just to talk a little bit about the arguments that are going on in court, the prosecution, in fact, are going on to say that the CCTV footage has also confirmed that there was some sort of a sexual assault to a certain extent.
That's right. In fact, today in the morning, the defense was the one which started the argument to begin with. They were continuing from the arguments from yesterday, where they essentially were trying to establish the fact that the version which has come out through the FIR, which seems to them to be a very heavily legally worded complaint, is not the same version that their client has given. And they also tried to convince the judge that Tejpal is actually going to cooperate with the Goa police. The fact that he's going to be available for interrogation, and that also that he had gone and voluntarily to the crime branch office in the morning. That was cited as an example in the court. Here, they also said that he can give up his passport and documents and stay in Goa and Bangalore till the charge sheet of this case is filed, so as not to be present either in Bombay or Delhi and influence the case in any manner. And they also tried to make the point that this entire past 1 week has been extremely damaging for Tarun Tejpal's reputation as much as for the girl. That's what the defense tried to convince the judge. But in the court, the prosecution started arguments for the first time today, where essentially they tried to make the point that the woman has been extremely consistent. The woman journalist who complained was extremely consistent with her version. It was Tejpal's version which seems to be changing like a chameleon. They also said that in this case, the woman, of course, her father was bedridden and she's the sole earner. They made an emotional appeal in the court. And they also tried to point out the fact that the Goa police had in fact been looking for Tejpal and had given him summoned him to Goa on Thursday itself. He never showed up. Even when their team went to Delhi, they didn't get any cooperation from Tejpal's family either. So what is the guarantee that he is going to actually cooperate with the investigation? These were some of the examples that the prosecution cited, and also very importantly pointed out that they have CCTV footage from the hotel which sort of indicates that there was a sexual assault on the girl. So these were some of the reasons why they felt that Tejpal should in fact be taken into custody, should be arrested by the Goa police and taken in for custodial interrogation.
Exactly, Tanima, and as you were saying there, while Tarun Tejpal's lawyers are trying to convince the judge there that he is willing to cooperate, what happened yesterday was a whole different story, given that the police team reached his house, he wasn't available, his wife refused to give any information about his whereabouts, he dodged the police, he landed up in Goa. So given by all of that, it might be a little difficult convincing the judge.
That's right, Bani. In fact, the prosecution seems to be making those same points that as far as the past 1 week and since the case had in fact been filed by the Goa police is concerned, Tarun Tejpal has not really come out. To begin with, he was not available to them for quite some time, ever since the case was filed. They finally had to officially summon him on Thursday afternoon, but he did not honor that deadline. There was no idea, nobody had any clue about the whereabouts of Tarun Tejpal. It was only yesterday, once the Goa police had rejected and denied the request put in by his lawyers on Thursday to extend his time, to give them some time till Saturday to come up with their next plan, that Tarun Tejpal's lawyers finally had to give in a letter of assurance to the Goa police on Thursday evening itself, telling them that he would join the investigation by Friday afternoon. Of course, what we saw playing out for the next 24 hours was a number of quick developments which took in this case, with the Goa police sending a team early on Friday morning trying to, armed with a non-bailable arrest warrant for Tarun Tejpal, but they did not find him in his residence, at his residence, or in some of the other addresses that they had been given about his relatives and some other associates in Delhi and the National Capital Region. So despite the Goa team being present over there, they did not have any clue where he was. But of course, along with the media, even the police came to know that he's taking a flight from Delhi in the afternoon. The Goa police team had caught up on it in order to find out whether they could make an arrest in the evening itself. Because remember, that argument for the anticipatory bail hearing had started yesterday afternoon in itself, but it was inconclusive, which is why there was no action taken by the police. But today in the morning, what we of course saw the prosecution again making those very same points, which have been on their mind for the past 48 hours or so. The fact that Tejpal did not really cooperate with them to begin with, that his family in a way was also not cooperating with them yesterday. And so there is no guarantee that he would be available for questioning at their, as soon as they summon him, which is why they feel that they need to take his custody for interrogation, and the fact that they felt that he has been changing his versions repeatedly, whereas the woman journalist version has more or less been consistent right from the beginning. Pani?
All right, Tanuma, of course, we'll be tracking all those developments very, very closely. Thanks for giving us those updates there from that bail hearing that's taking place of Tarun Tejpal. We'll, of course, keep getting you the latest as we go along.